And we are live! Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, happy time zones wherever you might be. I'm Emma and welcome back to the House of Hubris here on twitch.tv/Saracent, and welcome back to the Zero Escape series, and specifically... I can never get the mirroring right. Specifically, Virtue's Last Reward. Which is a hell of a thing. If you were here last time, you'll remember... Hubris indeed, thank you chat. If you were here last time, you'll remember... hard to say, really. We solved a bunch of puzzles, many by accident. Went through some rooms, kind of exploring all the different timelines of the branch we're in. And finally, we've actually made it to a route where we can get to the second AB game without it being like, whoops, sorry, you don't have all the things from a different universe to do this. So go back to the start and find it. Quark and Alice both have the Screaming Brain Plague, and we're about to play the Amdex game again. So should we do that? And we are playing against... Who are we playing against? Is it Phi? Wait, I thought I left it on the choice. Okay. Well, apparently, round 2 of the Amdex game has been completed. I could have sworn I left it as a cliffhanger on the choice. Weird. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening. Luna and I stepped out of our AB room a little later than the others. They were already gathered in front of the projection awaiting the announcement of the results. I don't even remember what I picked. No! No, of course I don't. I mean, I assume I picked Ally. I genuinely thought I'd left it as a cliffhanger on the choice. I think I pressed Ally just on the grounds of it's me. So, you chose Betray. Oh, apparently we chose Betray. Luna, thanks for reading me for not making notes. Yeah. Did you do it to protect yourself? Were you worried that Phi might choose Betray? That's a good question. Huh? I'm honestly not sure myself why I did it. I wasn't sure that I did it. Well, we should go see the results. I want to see how Kay and Clover voted. Alright. Let's go then. Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. Dramatic photos of everyone. Yes, because we learned that... Well... Get wrecked, question mark. But we've got 9 now. We win, right? Yes, we learned that ones where... If you save in the middle of the AB game before making a choice, what if the game picks you for you and then reads you for filth? I mean, if that is what's happened, that's kind of baller and I can respect it. But yes, we learnt that if you don't pick, it says ally, but somebody from every triad has to pick. Or everybody will die. Yeah, so hence why Alice has voted ally despite being incapacitated with Screaming Brain Plague. And Dio went and voted before the rest of us because he's a dick. And apparently we are also a dick because we just betrayed Phi. Sorry, Phi. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Oh, good start. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points. Yeah, that's a 9. Well played, Sigma. I guess a promise means a lot to you. I had nothing to say. Yeah, because I legit don't even remember pressing that. She was right. I'd broken a promise. Why did you do it? Nothing to say. I guess I misjudged you. I thought you were better than this. That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do. Elapsam semel occasionem non ipse patas Jupiter reprehendere. Okay, so semel is... Oh my god. God, I should be able to... Semel is once. Surprise Latin quiz. I mean, non ipse potes Jupiter reprehendere is not even Jupiter himself, mate. What's the word? God, I can say it in different languages. What's the thing? What's the word? Can, like... What's the verb for, like, reprisal? Anyway. Oh, no, it's once... It's just once an event has occurred, not even Jupiter can take it back, isn't it? Occasion. I think so. No, it's Jupiter reprehendere. Occasionum semel elapsam. Yeah, I think. Check the VOD. I picked Betray and was like, well, we're going to have to do them both anyway. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so this is just what's happened, not even God can take back. What's that? A Latin proverb. And what does it mean? Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Okay, yeah, I can see that translation. Fair enough. Okay, elapsam. Yeah. Jupiter is a Roman god. Oh yeah, Sigmund's an idiot. Actually, he's kind of the Roman god. He's in charge of all the others. Not even Jupiter, the ruler of the gods, can take back what's been done. You did something bad. You're not gonna get a chance to take it back. Actually, I'll have you know I can time travel. I turned away from Fi. I couldn't stand to look at her anymore. In front of me were Kay and Clover. Their eyes bored into me with cold disapproval, and I looked away. They'd both chosen ally, as promised. The only person who'd betrayed anyone was me. The only person with 9 BP was me. No wonder I wasn't very popular. What do you intend to do? You aren't thinking about trying to open the number 9 door, are you? For a moment I considered the unthinkable. Could I break through them and reach the door? Once I was through, I'd be out of the game and free from their judgment. But... no, I couldn't do that. Why not? How could I possibly justify leaving them all behind so I could escape on my own? You've known these people for like an hour. Why had I chosen Betray? Because... we're running the possibilities, Sigma. In my memory, it seemed like an almost flippant choice, as if I'd just been curious to see what would happen. Betrayal was what I wanted. I should have made that choice with commitment. Yes, this game is just reading me for filth now. But there I was, and I couldn't turn back. Even if I didn't try to open the number 9 door, they'd all be suspicious of anything I did. Trust is easy to break and hard to repair. Unless I could somehow turn back the clock, I was stuck with the consequences of my actions. Well, luckily. Yeah. Yeah. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. How could I do something that was beyond the reach of a god? Why hadn't I just chosen ally? What would be happening to me right now? What if? What if? What if? Then Fi spoke and I blinked. Sigma. We're just doing this to be safe. We can't just let you run around with 9 BP. I'm afraid you're gonna have to sleep for a little while. What? Excuse me, what? Okay. Huh? I started to turn around, but it was already too late. Felt a heavy hand slam into the back of my neck. Wow! And then everything went dark. That's just straight into a game over, huh? Okay. It's okay, just hit me in the head really hard and I died. Well, that happened. Yeah, that just takes you straight down into the bad end no matter what you do. Shall we go back and not pick Betray, perhaps? Do I wish to jump? Yes. Because the alternative was apparently death. Ah, it takes us straight to the voting. Excellent. Skip on forward. Oh, right, no, it doesn't take you straight to the voting. There's a whole conversation. Wait, what? Oh, right, so now I'm coming to the choice and getting flashes of what just happened in a different timeline. That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do. Elapsam semilocazionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. Okay, you've made your point, time ghost. Vote has been recorded. Please wait. Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed, and I'm going to skip through some dialogue. Luna and I stepped out of our AB room a little later than the others. They were already gathered in front of the projection awaiting the announcement of the results. You chose Ally, right? Are you sure that was okay? Yeah, of course. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? I did too. You sound pretty sure of yourself. I was not confident. I already know. I just remember it from where I just time jumped. I'm just mind forever voyaging on all of y'all, and you don't even know. What? Let's just go have a look, shall we? We'll know pretty quick whether I knew anything or not. Okay, let's go. Clomp, 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 clomp. We're very loud walkers. Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. And do your dramatic anime portraits. Yep, same. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost like observing the waveform changed it. Get quantumed. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points. We got quantumed on. What the hell, Fi? Why'd you choose Betray? You chose Ally before. I see. So you remember it too. Oh, what? Yeah, excuse me? Interesting. Are we not the only one time jumping here? The other round 2. What? That wasn't even close to the response I expected. It felt anticlimactic. Hey, hold on a minute here. You know. You remember how I chose Betray last time in round 2? Yeah, of course. What is this, Russian doll? Why do you think I chose betray this time? Don't you remember what I said? That I'd make you pay? Oh my god, does this branch get explained differently if you do them in the other order? If that's true, and like we are actually on a kind of a single meta timeline that we can't wind back, as well as in universe timelines that we can, that's an interesting model. Yeah, I do remember that. Then this is you making me pay. Yeah. Wait. No, that didn't make any sense. Something wasn't right. How could we both know about an earlier round 2? How could there have been an earlier round 2? Is it some sort of alternate history? What the hell was I thinking? That was conspiracy theory shit. Even if there was some sort of alternate timeline or universe or whatever, there was no way I could know what had happened in it. No way I could know. At least I didn't think there was any way I could know. But if I could, then how? I remembered Fi choosing ally, then scowling at me when I broke my promise and swearing revenge. That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do. Why did I know that? Perhaps more importantly, why did Fi remember it? What the hell did any of this mean? It had happened before, hadn't it? During round 1 of the AB game when I was playing against Alice. So again, because we tried different branches, if we'd just done this one timeline all the way through, would we not get this? That's interesting. I'd seen something. Fi and I had chosen Betray, but for some reason I'd seen a reality where we'd chosen Ally instead. Suddenly I remembered that I wasn't alone. I looked up to see Luna, Clover, and Kay. They all began to speak at once. What happened? Why did you choose Betray, Fi? Yeah. You're the only one who didn't vote Ally. Fi looked away and scowled. For several long moments her eyes stared off into the distance, and I could also see her mind working. Finally she sighed and spoke. Right. Well, I've got 9 points now, so sorry, but I'm out of here. Huh? What do you mean? What do you think? Do I really have to explain it? I'm leaving through the number 9 door. Hey! Wait. I scrambled around in front of her and threw my arms out. You're in my way. Move. No. I'm not letting you go. What happened to you? I didn't think you were the kind of person who ditched the rest of us so you could get away. When someone betrays your trust, it feels like a part of you dies. For me, I guess it was the part that cared. I don't think you have even the slightest idea what that feels like. Betrays you. Wait, are you saying... Whatever, just get out of my way. No, I'm not moving. I see. Then you leave me no choice. She spoke, Fi bent down. And then it turned out she was a ninja? And shot up into the air and over my head. I spun around to see her standing next to the number 9 door, her hand on the lever. Could she always do that? You... Nice try. She grinned and tightened her grip on the lever. Plaudite, actes fabula. Did we learn this in the first bit? God, I don't... So many things happen in this game. Oh god, yeah, she did do that before, didn't she? What the hell was that? It's Latin. Applaud. The play has ended. That's what it means. Latin? Sigma, what is your PhD in? See you later. Wait. Stop! Felt myself speaking before I even knew what the words were. Elapsam semel occasionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. What is this, bloody fringe? Yes, that was Greek, not Latin, and also an extremely niche reference. What is it? Anthropon, Napaton Potato 2, something like that. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Are you sure this is how you want it to end? A fringe reference in 2021? Yes. Problem? I watched that show a lot. What about the nonary game? Zero, the bombs. We still don't know the truth about any of it. If you leave now, we never will. Won't we? How do you know? Is that really what you want? Ellipses. So many ellipses. Fine. Phi slowly let go of the lever. Look, I'm sorry about betraying you. I'm honestly not sure why I did it. Forget about it. This time you chose ally and I chose betray. I think we're even. What are you talking about? When did you betray her? Are you talking about round one? No. We aren't talking about round one. Just drop it. There's no point. I doubt they'd understand even if you did tell them. Yeah. You're right. This game is indeed a hell of a lot more meta than the other one, you're not wrong. Question marks? I don't get it. Well, at least it seems Phi has decided to remain. You've really changed your mind. Yeah. I'll stick around a little longer. Like you said, I can't leave until we figured out what's going on. Ah, I accidentally double-clicked. Someone reaches 9 BP and doesn't open the door, the game will keep going. Oh man, that's a relief. Please, don't scare us like that again. Speaking of loud, those are some loud doors. The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the star round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the star keys. Did we find out what's up with Clover and her quote-unquote training yet? Nope. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them. As many times as we want, huh? And that means as long as you have the star keys, you can play the AB game as many times as you want. You probably won't be allowed to play it continuously, however. There's a period of time between when the doors open and when the polling ends. Based off the last 2 rounds, I think it's about 45 minutes long. So you can repeat the game once every 45 minutes or so. Oh, that's right. What? Didn't Zero Jr. say something about that? As soon as the gates close, your colours get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too. Yeah. What are your bracelets, guys? Looks like I'm red solo. I'm a magenta pair. Me too. That means we'll be a team this time. I think we'll do great. Yeah. Who's gonna be my partner then? I'm a cyan pair. They do not appear to be here. I, for instance, am a yellow pair. So the solos are primary colours, the yellows are secondary colours, and that's why we've got white doors. Huh? Wait a second. Luna and Clover are a magenta pair, Fi's a cyan pair, and Kay's a yellow pair. Who the hell am I supposed to partner up with? Nobody, you're a solo. The cyan pair, I imagine. Fi and her mysterious partner. How'd you figure that? Sigma, my dude, what is your PhD in? You have just no kind of lateral thinking or intellectual curiosity or anything. Just stop and think for a second. Just a single second, my dude, please. Sigma, what colours are added together to create cyan? Green and blue, right? What colour would you get by adding a red to that? Red, green and blue would be white. Exactly. So you're saying the next set of chromatic doors are going to be white? Yes. How do you know? Because I have seen them. After leaving the archives, we found a warehouse very similar to this one. In it was a set of white doors. Well, to be precise, a set of doors which radiated white light. I mean, I don't think that distinction is really worth making. If something emits white light, then kind of definitionally, it's white. Yeah, I saw him too. After we were finished in the garden, we went to the same warehouse he's talking about. Like through the same corridors. They had the same little lock thingies. I'm 100% sure they're the next chromatic doors. What about the people back in the infirmary? Do they know about the white doors? Yes. If we exclude Quark from their number, then I believe they do. I wonder what colours they are. As far as pairs go, we're missing a cyan and a yellow. If Sigma's a red solo, then we should have a green solo and a blue solo back in the infirmary. Well, I'm going back to the infirmary. I'm kind of worried about Alice and Quark. I'll go too. As will I. That's right. Wait, guys. There's something I need to tell you. Huh? What is it? Go on. I meant to say something earlier, but I guess there was just so much other stuff going on. As I say, this game is so much. I looked at Fi. She nodded back. See, the truth is... What? Oh no. You found another bomb? Oh, that's what we're telling them about, okay. Yeah. Where? In the garden. No. It's not possible, we didn't see anything like that. Could you have missed it? No. No way. We checked every part of that room. There was a number on this one too, it said 01. Since the one we found in the quarter said 03 on it, well... I think there might be a third bomb out there somewhere. I think there's a good chance. These bombs are indeed showing up only after the rooms have been solved, which kind of suggests one of us is putting them there. But then we kind of thought one of us was Zero anyway. Very well, we should split up and find this other bomb. It could be anywhere. I mean, what would finding it gain you right now? Yeah, I agree. Why? But even if we do find it, what are we supposed to do? Yeah, see, Luna knows. That is a concern for later. At the moment, our primary concern should be finding it. Really? You can't fight an enemy you can't see, after all. Precisely. Alright, I'll head back to the infirmary and let everybody else know. Please. How about we set a time to meet back here, just in case? The time we have left until the chromatic doors open is... let's see... quite a bit, actually. 1 hour and 57 minutes. I think approximately half of that should be enough. When we have 1 hour remaining, we should meet back at the infirmary. Acceptable? That sounds good to me. Right. I'll tell the others too. Good. Let's go. And we show you every map transition on the way. And they're long. Here's a background. Here's a button. We click the button. There's an animation. And fade. And sound. And fade. And go up and sound and fade back in. Wait, no, we're going down anyway. Seriously, these transitions are too long. And they involve no interact. Like, if I was actually walking through corridors, if you do all the time math, is this game also in world about 9 hours? I mean, almost certainly. Oh hey, we're in Warehouse B. I say again, you could have just crossfaded to Warehouse B and I'd be fine with that. So, these are the white doors that Kay and Clover were talking about. Yeah, there's the lock thing. No question, these are chromatic doors, I guess. So it seems. Yeah! What? When did you... I've been here the whole time. Seriously? I didn't notice you at all. Oh. I guess you're here instead to go. How sad. So what do you want? Why are you stalking me? I'm not stalking you. I just followed you here. I'm not stalking you, I'm following you. It's an important distinction. It's pretty much the same thing. But how did you do it? You were totally silent. I mean, you've seen her ninja training. Are you Batman? Yes, truly the only sensible explanation right now is that she's Batman. I already told you I'm not. Remember, back in the AB room when we met? Yeah. Actually... There you go. See, somebody remembers it better than me. He also jumped super high, all the way up to the ceiling. Right. Aren't you curious about that graffiti? Change the subject. Swerve away. Graffiti? Sigma, you are the least observant man there has ever been. Yeah, that. Memento Mori of the 9th lion ate the sun. Did a kid write that or what? Theory fires a genetic experiment. Well, theory logged. Let's see how that goes. Why do you say that? Well, they managed to spell 9th wrong. Who puts an E in there? Oh, you're right. And then again, maybe it means something. I mean, the first one was an anagram. I'm assuming this is an anagram. Do you know what it means? The land part? Hey, now give me a little credit. Yeah, maybe Zero's dyslexic. That, honestly, on the one hand, after face blindness made me kill all those children, I would be a little less good with accepting that just randomly the villain has a disability, but also, that would be the funniest twist. If you just brought Zero in here and pointed out the E in 9th and you'd be like, oh yeah, shit, that shouldn't be there. Just once, I want to see the mastermind just make a stupid mistake like we all do. Give me a little credit. No, Sigma. Even I know what Memento Mori means. See it all over the place. As far as I know, it translates to something like "be aware of death" or "remember your mortality." You just know that because somebody told you in another timeline. Never forget that we all die someday. Guess it's a sort of cautionary thing. What about the other part? It's exactly what it says on the tin, right? Some sort of conditional about lions and suns. Anything come to mind? No, nothing. Nothing at all. What about you? No. Does anything ever come to Sigma's mind? Me? Oh, well, let's see. Memento Mori, if the 9th lion ate the sun. Memento Mori, if the 9th lion ate the sun. I repeated the words over and over in my head, but nothing. Whatever they meant, it was beyond me. Like, they've shown you the puzzle once. Remember the puzzle that you did upstairs, like, an hour ago. But perhaps Phi... Latin... Huh? Don't you know Latin? Maybe you can figure more of it out. Well, I know a little. More than most people, I guess, but I'm not an expert. And how'd you know that phrase? You know one quote in this language, you must know the entire language. That's how it works, right? Lapsam semel occasionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. How many times are you gonna make me say that, game? Oh, that. That's from, this. She unpinned the brooch from her chest as she spoke and held it out to me. I hesitated for a moment, and I took it. Look at the back. Turned it over. Yep, that sure is on the back. Elatsam semel occasionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. God, I am having flashbacks to doing A-level Latin here. So I guess the I is pronounced like a J in Latin here. No, it's pronounced like an I, it's just become a J. Yeah. What is this? A memento of my late mother. Well, I guess it's something like a memento. What does that mean? She died right after I was born. I was raised by foster parents, and they told me where the brooch had come from. Wow, a genetic experiment is suddenly sounding a lot more likely. Oh god, accidental double click. Apparently it was the only thing my mother had left behind. What about your father? Don't have one. I guess you could say I was a bastard. I never saw his face, and I don't know his name. I don't even know if he's alive. Oh. Couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just handed her back the brooch. That phrase got to be almost like a prayer for me. Whenever I had to make a tough decision, I'd say it to myself. Sometimes I'd just repeat it over and over like a chant. Before long, I had it memorized. Got me interested in Latin, and I started studying the language. Elapsam semel occasionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But seems kind of funny now. I mean, look at us. We've done what Jupiter can't. We can find our lost opportunities. That's why I followed you here. I thought it would be a good idea to talk to you about all this alone. Yeah, I agree. There's something else we need to do too, though. Find the number 2 bomb. You never want a number 2 bomb. That's going to be hell to clean up. Exactly. So we should get going. I'm pretty sure the bomb isn't in here. There's nowhere to hide it. So you're saying we should go somewhere else? Yeah. Come on, don't just stand there. We need to get a move on. Without waiting for a reply, she turned and started toward one of the exits. I followed. Again, you could just cut to another room and say, and then we walk to another room, and I'd believe you. Oh, we're going to the archives, apparently. So much of our time, game. So much of our time spent going through scene transitions so you can show off all your backgrounds. The archives. Good place to hide a bomb. Now, where the hell do we start looking? I doubt it really matters. If it's here, we'll find it eventually. That's a strange tack to be taking. So, what about that Jupiter stuff? We can talk while we look. Now get started. Also, Sarah and I keep seeing that comment in chat and thinking it says, maybe Zero's Dyslexic Phil. And I'm like, who the hell is Dyslexic Phil? I turned to a corner of the room and began to look while Fi spoke. Dyslexic Phil is my new superhero design. Well, you're welcome to it, I will wait for the road to check. I'll start with the conclusion I've come to. Our consciousnesses seem to be able to jump through time. That's not a conclusion, that's just the thing that is happening. No, sorry, through time isn't really accurate. It's more like we move through worlds. Again, depending on how you define these things. Worlds. Yeah. I don't mean physical planets in this case. I'm talking about a whole different universe, really. Parallel worlds. What? Seriously, Sigma. Either you're terrible at your PhD or you are just the most specialized because you don't know jack about anything else. Do you know about the many worlds interpretation? Kind of? Think I've heard of it once or twice? Huh. Oh well. I'll just explain it. Let's say... I don't care what it is, but could you move? Scratch your head, cross your arms, put your hands on your hips, anything. I had no idea what this was supposed to explain, but I did shit asked. Oh my god, so many options. Others? We could moonwalk? Do literally anything moonwalks. I mean, if you can moonwalk properly, then that is probably your reaction to being asked basically anything. I'm torn between tap dance and moonwalk. I think it's gotta be moonwalk, because like I say, if you can moonwalk and you're asked to just do a thing, that'll probably be what it is. Slide, slide, slide. What? That's supposed to be moonwalking? Yeah. I'm pretty good, huh? Yeah, sure. But you might want to try going backward next time, not forward. Yeah, if you're moonwalking forward, that's just walking, my dude. Were you even looking? I was going backward. Watch. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. Anyway, you just did the moonwalk, right? Right. But you could have chosen to scratch your head up across your arms. Now, maybe there are other Sigmas in other worlds who did all of those things. All of these worlds and realities are branching off from one another. Choices you could have made branched off from the moment you decided what you were going to do just now. I mean, there exists no universe in which I wouldn't have moonwalked, let's be real. Every moment you make a decision, another universe branches off, on and on into infinity. Each of these branches is an alternate world. A world where a version of you did something different. Haven't you ever thought about what life would have been like if you'd made different choices? I was considering tap dance, but I don't know. Y'all were saying moonwalk in the chat, and I feel like chat was never not going to say moonwalk, and I am but a performing monkey. No, the first game didn't have a flowchart before, which is horrendous to think about. Yeah. The flowchart was introduced in this game and then retroactively added in the first one in the re-release, which is what I'm playing because I am streaming this on Steam and not a DS. I have it on DS, I just don't have the equipment to stream from that, and also, why bother? Yes, if this one didn't have a flowchart, that would be ludicrous. What if you'd gone to this high school instead of that one? What if you hadn't started a study group? What if you hadn't told that girl you liked her? What if? What if? But are those what ifs really just what ifs? Or are there other worlds out there where you did those things? Anyway, that's the many worlds interpretation in a nutshell. I've simplified it a lot. Waarom ben ik niet do indeed? I should watch that again. Doesn't have to be human actions though. I just use your actions to make the explanation easy to grasp. The actions of a cat, the flight of a bee, the movement of a microorganism, even fluctuations in air temperature, all these can change history. Whoa. Hold on a second. I'll let microorganisms slide, but there's no way that air is conscious of anything. She never said it was! Can you say for sure that you are? What? All of your actions are caused by the cells in your brain. Oh hey, it's the hard problem of consciousness, everybody! Anybody who had that on their classic philosophical problems bingo card, cross it off now and get yourself a drink. If we go down a little further, then you could say all of your actions are the results of atoms, or electrons, or smaller particles we haven't even discovered yet. Are those atoms and electrons still you making a decision? At that level, how different are you from the air? Okay, calm down, Doc Manhattan. I'd say not much. Human existence is just one part of reality. Falling in love is like a tulip blossoming. Cool. What? We interrupt this rant for the start of a haiku. A tulip blossoming is like a tornado forming in South America. See what I'm saying? The only thing that really matters is the action of the most elementary particles of matter. That's where history happens. That's where universes branch out. Hey, you stopped. Are you done with that shelf? Oh, I thought you meant I'd stop moonwalking. Oh, no, not yet. Well, keep looking while I talk. How familiar are you with quantum physics? Why are you even asking this question? If somebody's reaction when asked, do you know about the many worlds interpretation is, what? then they probably don't know much about quantum physics. Just saying. Never mind, don't answer that. Correct. I'll try and keep it simple for you. Let's see. Hey, hand me that box, will you? This one? Sure. I handed the box I've been examining over to her. She set it down on the desk and opened the top. Also, there's a stuffed lion up there. Still terrifying. Perfect. He's part of Felidae too. Are we just gonna get the whole Schrodinger's cat explanation now? With that, she grabbed the lion and tossed it unceremoniously into the box. She also took a weight and an ink jar and put them in next to the lion. Alright. Everything's ready. Ready. Remember that book in the crew quarters about Schrodinger's cat? It relates to all the stuff I've been talking about. Anyway, come look at the box. What about looking for the... This will only take a minute. Now look. I shrugged and peered into the box. What do you see? Well, there's a stuffed lion. From now on, that's a cat. A living cat. This is important. Got it? Yeah, it's a cat, yeah. Oh god, I forgot Sigma's cat thing. Which if it doesn't become plot relevant, then why is it here? Oh man. This again. Sorry. I can't help it. I find that hard to believe. Ugh, fine. Maybe I can just ignore it. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Alright, what else do you see? Oh wait, there's not even a pond and a jar of ink. Right. Now, the weight is going to be radioactive material. And the jar of ink is full of poisonous gas. What? I'm kidding out here. Idiot, it's not really full of gas. This is just hypothetical. Imagine that it's full of gas. So what's the weight? Radioactive material. And the jar of ink is full of poison gas. Exactly. Good work. Have a biscuit. What? I don't know why. I don't know why this is so funny to me. The labeling. But it is. Now, there's one other thing you need to know about the jar. If it's struck by any of the alpha particles the radioactive material emits, it'll break. These particles are emitted randomly, but there's a 50% chance that one of them will come into contact with the jar over the course of an hour. So let's close the lid and pretend an hour has passed. Here's the question. Is the cat inside the box alive or dead? You can't open the box to check. You can't hit the box. Obviously you can't shake it either. It's also been soundproofed, so the cat could be howling up a storm in there and you'd never know. Basically, you have no idea what's going on inside the box. Do you remember what happens if the alpha particles hit the jar? It breaks, the cat fills the box, the cat gas fills the box, the cat inhales it, and death will whisk her away. That's pretty good. And what if the jar doesn't break? The cat lives to tell a tale. Huh. And what are the chances of either of those things happening? About 50%. Uh-huh. So what's your answer? Is the cat alive or dead? I can't possibly know. Then guess. It's not hard. Alive or dead? Alive. The cat is, pause for dramatic effect, alive! Don't know why I'm doing... The bigger font does make it sound like a kind of stage magician reveal. The cat is alive! Yes, Sarah, this is the tamest thing you've ever come into these games on, so congrats. Nope, you're wrong. It's dead. That's wrong too. What's the right answer? The answer is that it's in a state where it's neither dead nor alive. But I think it's more both than neither is how it's usually formulated, but go off. What? How does that make any sense? It doesn't, and that's kind of the point. It's an extrapolation of something we see at the atomic level. Yes, Schrödinger has entered the chat, and specifically to say that yes, it's not meant to make sense because you're extrapolating quantum systems to classical systems, and Charity slayed him with the tier 1 gift sub, with the 1 month gift sub to Frederick Shaggins. Thank you so much, and congratulations. We don't know if an atom is spinning upward or downward until we measure it. Before it's measured, those two possibilities coexist. But as soon as the measurement is taken, obviously only one possibility is the truth. That's what's happening with the alpha particles. What's my quark status? Obviously charm. Have you seen me? Or I'm like the equivalent of a neutron, but the next tier up. So it's 2 charm, 1 strange. Because I think that would make a stable particle, just not one that has ever been observed in nature. I think. Does charm, strange boson exist? Please answer, internet. Since we can't know when they were emitted or where, we'll only know the probability that they'll impact the jar. Because we can't observe anything that's happening in the box, that becomes the entire system. In other words, the box is like the atom. We don't know how the cat's life or death situation has resolved itself until we look at it. Can't remember who said it first, but as ever, the solution for the whole... The way to get a solid answer to the whole Schrödinger's cat experiment is... sure, we didn't know at the time, but by now the cat is definitely dead. Until we do, it's just a bunch of possibilities. Did you get it? Of course Sigma doesn't get it. He doesn't get things. If the cat in the box is possibilities, then it's both alive and dead. Right. So let's open the lid. And when we do, all the possibilities will collapse into a single truth. Excuse me? Fermion, Slepton, Squark, and Smuon. Oh, scientists, what are you doing? Why do you give terrible hypothetical names? I'm sorry, but it's true. Get help. Meow. Yeah, so those are just the supersymmetric next tier up of fermions, leptons, quarks, and muons, right? Supersymmetry is a weird thing because it's just like, here look, I found 26 dimensions that we can't possibly interact with, but it makes a theoretically stable system, and everybody goes, alright. What a relief, huh? Looks like the cat's alive. Anyway, that's Schrödinger's cat. The many worlds interpretation is one theory for explaining that weirdness. There's another world out there where this cat died. Yeah, that's the idea. Watching us two have this conversation like, and I went to art school. I mean, to be fair, Saren, my degree is in French. I just know a lot of crap about science outside of that. Yeah, oh yeah, if proved, supersymmetry would explain a ton of things. But given that, like, definitionally we can't really interact with higher dimensions, and we'd have to invent a whole new way of even thinking about how to do anything about it. Most of science outside of that particular field is just like, yeah, alright. Yes, an electron is a fermion, but a photon is not. That's true. This is, again, the reason I know a lot of this stuff, and yes, I'm just going to turn this into chat hour now. The reason I know a lot of this stuff is both from being a nerd in high school, and also quiz. Like, I've learned a lot about science from just doing a lot of Quiz Bowl. And the fermion boson thing is, I usually have a handle on it, more or less. But yeah, like I say, I'm principally a humanities student. It's just when I was in secondary school, when I was doing my A-levels, they were like, you can't just do all of your A-levels in languages and ancient history. You should do a science as well, because then you're proving that you're diverse, and universities will like that. And then I actually do it, and I did, French, Latin, ancient history, and physics. And then you get to university, and they're all like, why the hell did you do physics? That's not relevant to anything. What? Okay, sure. Geology is good. I missed out on the chance to do geology at school. Anyway, where were we in this game? Sorry, when we weren't just talking about my educational history. And looks like that cat take of yours cleared up. Yeah. Well, your story was pretty insane. Insane? You don't think so? Just the idea of something being alive and dead at the same time. And if the moment the lid is open determines whether or not the cat's dead, then it's almost like events in the future can determine the past. I mean, the cat doesn't die when you open the lid, so it must have already been dead. Exactly. You've experienced it, haven't you? What on earth are you talking about? Think back. Remember round 2 of the AB game? Yeah, no, I primarily did physics because A, it was mostly theoretical and I was good at that. And, like, I'm good at the maths side of it. And, also, I had really bad anxiety, which didn't get on well with doing too many practicals, and specifically anything where you'd have to light a Bunsen burner or anything, because I had a big old phobia of fire back then. So hey, that's me. I say I had a lot of anxiety as though it's entirely in the past. But hey. Anyway, think back. Remember round 2 of the AB game? When you chose Betray, what was my vote? Ally. But what happened this time? I chose Ally and you chose Betray. Right. And both times I put in my vote a full minute before the deadline. When did you push the button? Right before the deadline. I see. Well, that makes this a little easier to explain. If you chose Betray, then my vote was Ally. If you chose Ally, then my vote was Betray. But I made my choices a whole minute before you made yours. Don't you think that's strange? You do see what I'm saying, don't you? That my choice in the future altered your action in the past. Why are we... But, counterpoint, the only reason we're framing it that way is because Sigma is the protagonist and we as the player made the actual choice, which, yes, did affect the past within the code of the game. But she could also think of it, surely, as her actions affecting my actions in the future through spooky action at a distance that we don't understand. Like, I get what you're explaining, and in this case it is true, but you're relying on some slightly dodgy postulates. Yes, hello, I am a nerd. Yeah. From your perspective, there's no other way to interpret it. And we're only operating from his perspective because, again, standard protagonist rules. It's just the standard protagonist thing is just the superpower of certainty that you're doing the right thing and things will turn out for the best when you take actions that, if done by anybody other than the protagonist, will be looked at as just complete irresponsibility at best and active malice at worst. I mean, look at literally any superhero story through that lens. Yeah, Fi going back for revenge when she knows that we're jumping through timelines and she betrayed us that time, and, like, this... petty as hell. Yeah, I am the protagonist and therefore right hypothesis. You just missed June talking about science. I mean, you can't say that this game isn't executing on its premise well. I mean, I don't think we've played it enough. Like, we're not even a third of the way through the flowchart that currently exists, and then I'm betting there'll be more flowchart again. And really, the actual point of this game is, of course, to enable me to do a bunch of silly voices, and I think for that it's succeeding admirably. Now that I thought about it, round 1 had been the same. When I'd chosen Ally, Alice had chosen Betray. And when I'd chosen Betray, she had done the opposite. Look at this die. I found it over there. Let me give you one last example. Do we need more examples? We get it. Come on, can we just get back to the story? As she spoke, she tossed the die into the box and quickly shut the lid. Alright, answer this question. What number is the die on? We don't know. Although we could probably know if we were, for example, Snake, because the sound of it will change depending on the number of hollows on the face it's fallen on. There's always a little bit extra. Let's say it was a 5. Huh. It's not 5. Oh, that's me too. It's not 5, is it? Okay, I'm gonna open the lid. Oh my god, we're a wizard. Good job. Have a biscuit. Got it right. That was just a fluke. Was it? Huh? Let's think about what was going on before I opened the lid. What number was the die on? 5, of course. Haven't you been paying attention? The die is still a collection of atoms, isn't it? I don't think you can reasonably suggest that it was made of some different kind of matter. Wait, so you're saying that before you opened the lid, the die was on all the numbers? Uh-huh. That's one way to look at it, at least. Can we play through this and see if our die guess is correct every time? I mean... yes. Yes, we can. If I jump to the same area. And then... forward skip. And just stop forward skipping at the right time. Don't want to overshoot. If I overshoot incidentally, I'm not going back again. All of this in the warehouse. So many scene transitions. Other warehouse. Fire jumping, which isn't sped up, unlike everything else in the world. Brooch. Doors. Latin. Archives. Let's moonwalk just so we'll keep seeing old text. Oh no, this is Schrodinger's cat we did with the box first. Brain. Yeah, just keep going with the same text. I just want to get back to the die. Haha! Oh, of course, it stops skipping at choices anyway, so we were never going to overshoot. What should we say it is now? Somebody in chat, give me a number. We're saying it's a 2. Could it be 2? Okay, I'm gonna open the lid. Haha! Oh my god, we are actually a quantum wizard. Quantum wizards seem to come up a lot in games on this stream, like largely unrelated games. Good job. Got it right. That was a fluke. Was it? And fast forward to where we were. 2, of course. Wait. And then, when you opened the lid, it was just 1 number. Yes, somebody add Quantum Wizard to the House of Hubris bingo card. Or it might have become that number when you declare which one it was. Huh? Wait, what do you mean? Your choice in the future has an effect on the past. That's crazy. Observing the waveform alters the waveform. Cool, I explained it. Let's move on. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Oh yeah, weren't you meant to be busy looking for a bomb? We got a little off topic there, but I think I made my point. Reality separates off into an infinite number of branches for each and every possibility. You and I seem to be able to jump from branch to branch. Of course, our bodies aren't doing the jumping. Our consciousness is just sort of dive into other versions of ourselves in other worlds. It's quantum immortality, is what it is. Whoa. I think I get it now. That's how you knew my name, right? You jumped in from another world. That's how you knew all those other things you shouldn't have known. Yeah. That's the best I can figure out, at least. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't retain all our memories when we jump. Maybe we only remember particularly important things. I'm not sure how it works. Well, mostly that's because otherwise the devs would have an absolute nightmare trying to write this. But whatever the reason, it seems to be fairly limited. And often we don't seem to remember jumping at all. Things will just sort of pop up. That's why when someone asks us how we know X, all we can think of to say is, I just knew. Is this or isn't it the morphogenetic field? Hard to say. Given that we know the morphogenetic field can transmit information across timelines. And across time and across space. So, if we interpret the consciousness as a block of information, and we've just, like, got a much better transfer rate suddenly on the morphogenetic field, and we could just be using that to send the consciousness the information that manifests consciousness, because let's not get on to quantifying what consciousness is, because they call it the hard problem of consciousness for a reason. So short answer, maybe. It does feel like the same phenomenon explained in multiple ways, yes. Yeah. What's causing this then? I don't remember ever doing this before, so why would it start now? If we knew that, I don't think we'd be having so much trouble. It's just what? Well, I'm pretty sure it has to do with why we're locked up in here. There's no way this doesn't have something to do with whatever Zero Senior's trying to do. Why would he have left that Schrodinger's cat book in the crew quarters? Huh. You aren't kidding, are you? Maybe this is some sort of huge Schrodinger's cat experiment. And all 9 of us are locked up inside the box right now. What if you've got it backwards? Backwards? We're outside of the box, and the rest of the world is inside. Then the moment we step out of this place, yeah, we might be determining the history of the world outside. I mean, yes, but then from the view of the cat, everybody else is the superposed waveform, and everybody else is inside the kind of anti-box. This is just observer principle. And this is where so many kind of classical interpretations of quantum theories come in, is determining who counts as an observer. And lots of things have explained this in lots and lots of different ways. And basically, at the end, it always comes down to scientists going, yes, reality is subjective, can we go home now? No way. I had 1,000 other questions, but before I could open my mouth to ask them. Oh good. There you are. Did something happen? Yes. We found it. Found what? You were looking for a bomb, you idiot. What do you mean what? What else could we find? The bomb. The other antimatter bomb. The number 2 bomb is in the control room. See, direct cuts between rooms. More of that, please. Is this it? Yeah. This is one of them, alright. No, this is one of them, alright. And it's number 2, apparently. Well, at least we found them all now. No, there could be more. Like Kay said, there might be a number 4 bomb out there. We have no way to know. Did you tell anyone else about this, Clover? Well, not really, but, I wasn't the first person to find it. Who was? Kay and Luna. After they found it, they came to the infirmary and told the rest of us. So, you didn't tell everyone, but you were there when everybody was told. Who was in the infirmary? Everyone. Temyoji and Dio were there. So were Alice and Quark, of course. Although they were still asleep. So everyone who wasn't asleep knows about the bomb. I see. Yeah. There's nobody else here, though. Where'd they all go? Right after we came here to look at the bomb, they all left. They were going to go look for you two.
What about Alice and Quark?
They're the same. Still sleeping. We checked them out just to be sure, but they seem fine.
That's good. Fi and I looked at one another and let out a small sigh of relief.
Oh, right. I checked everybody's bracelets when we were in the infirmary. Did you want to know what they were?
It took her only a moment to explain. Alice was a green solo, and Quark was a blue solo. Dio's bracelet made him a yellow pair, and Temyoji was a cyan pair. So, what are our options for groups? The next set of doors to open are going to be the white doors. That means we'll have to mix our colours so that we get white, so there's really only one option. If I laid out what that would mean. Option A. What? Really? Are there options? Fi and Temyoji, cyan, pair with me, red. Kay and Dio, yellow, pair with Quark, blue. Clover and Luna, magenta, pair with Alice, green.
Huh? There's only one option. Then why did you call it option A? because I got confused there, because I was like, well, there's only one way for this to work out, isn't there? Then why call it option A? We will give you a choice, and your choices are A, this. Sure. Yeah. Any other combinations don't make white. What about Alice and Quark? Luna said it's going to be a while until they wake up. We'll just have to carry them. The secondary doors won't open without 3 bracelets. And if we can't open them, yeah, we'll get penalized. Exactly. Don't worry about Alice. I'm on her team. You saying you can carry her? Yeah. Well, I can get Luna to help me. True, I'm sure she'll be happy to help. What about Quark? He's on Kay's team. There shouldn't be any issues there. Well, we still need to figure out what we're going to do about this bomb. Alice said we should be safe as long as it's not triggered with the remote. Maybe, but we can't just leave them here forever. I mean, if they go off, then everything in like a couple 100 kilometers is going to get fried. Wait, a couple 100 kilometers? What are you talking about? That bomb should only have about as much explosive power as a ton of TNT. Which is nothing to sniff at. That's nowhere near the kind of yield you're talking about. It could be. What if these bombs are just like the detonator? I mean, you are stood next to an antimatter reactor. Who needs quantum computing when you can have quantum conjuring? I mean, yeah. I mean, manifestation of particles from quantum foam is like the closest thing to magic we really have, and if we learned out how to control and harness it, we can just make shit, but... And it's also a thing that I have on numerous occasions tried to explain to people, and they have got genuinely angry at me for suggesting that it was true, but it is. Explaining pair production and Hawking radiation and quantum foam has made people physically angry at me in the past, and I find that hilarious, if I'm honest. Oh. I mean, there might be a bunch more anti-hydrogen around here somewhere, such as, for example, here. Like 10 feet away from you, Sigma. Oh, yep, right over there. Thank you, Sigma. The reactor. Yeah. There are supposed to only be 18 antimatter reactors in the whole world. If that's one of them, then that's a lot of anti-hydrogen. How much is a lot? 3.5 kilograms. 3.5! That's like 10,000 times more than Alice's 350 milligrams. I mean, man's not wrong. He's got some basic maths there. Actually, it would explain a lot if he was doing a maths PhD, because I know so many mathmos who are genuinely lovely people and know approximately 0 things outside of their field of maths. Love you all, but it's true. If there really is that much, and if it does explode, then we would be looking at an explosion roughly 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. No, that's insane. Wait, Clover, how did you know that? Know what? That's stuff about antimatter reactors.
Well, that's, during my training, they...
Training for what?
My job.
Of course. I didn't realise waiters these days needed to memorise how many operational antimatter reactors there were worldwide. Okay, I take it back. Sigma's PhD is in SAS. Wow. Or how much fuel each one of those reactors might be storing. You don't work at a cafe, do you? Did she ever say she worked at a cafe? I don't remember that.
Did you hear about that from Alice?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's right, then.
Why are you using antimatter reactors at a cafe?
That's, what we call the coffee machines.
Seamless. Absolutely saved it, I'm convinced. What? Are you fucking with me? You have to tell me if you're fucking with me, that's the rules.
I'm telling you the truth, I work at a cafe. It just might be a kind of fake job to divert attention. I think they call it a cover?
Wow. You know what you have to do when you're living, when you're kind of taking a second job and living a second life as a cover for whatever mysterious ninja espionage you're doing, is immediately tell everybody about this. Yeah, I work in a cafe, but also it's actually a fake cover job. Entirely defeating the point, I will be reporting this to your manager. What? And what's your real job?
I'm sorry. I really can't tell you anything else.
Why not?
It's classified.
Classified by who?
The government.
The government. That's right. Alice said it was her job to eliminate enemies of the state or something? So you two do work together. Yes, people who were calling spy have a biscuit.
Oh no! Check your bracelets, how much time do we have left?
Just swerve away! What are you talking about?
How long until the doors open? Come on, quickly!
Wow, Sigma is just so quick to forget what situation he's even in. Damn. We were supposed to have met up 5 minutes ago.
I'm heading back then. Remember, we're supposed to meet at the infirmary. You guys hurry back, okay? Bye!
Hey! You haven't... Oh, damn it. You guys have fun, bye! And she's gone. Fine. She's right, you know, we need to get going. Hold on. I need to check something real quick. What? Fade to black. Okay, cool. We're not going to know what she needed to check real quick.
Oh, there you are. You're late. What were you doing?
Nothing. When we arrived, everyone else was already back. Yep, that's everyone alright. Quark and Alice hadn't left, of course. That you know of. They were both sleeping soundly. Any traces of the madness we'd seen earlier long gone.
Clover told us. You've seen the bomb in the control room?
Yeah, with our own eyes. So, what the hell should we do? That makes 3 bombs.
Well, we have to do something. They're bombs, for God's sake.
There is a quick and simple solution.
Really?
Remember what Alice said?
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate. You see it? Right here. There's a port. If we can find the password input device, we can just connect it here. Then we can enter the password.
So if we have the password, we can deactivate them.
Whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned even if we did have the password. Not a problem. We've resolved that issue. Aww. Show them. I nodded and pulled it out of my pocket. Yes, because you found that in a different timeline. What was it this timeline? Anyway.
That was in the safe in the control room.
Exactly. We didn't have any idea what it was at first, but I figured it out. I player did, because it told us in the secret files. After Clover left, we tested it. Turned out I was right. Fit perfectly. Couldn't get it to do anything, though. Plugged in a couple of random characters, but all we got was an error. You know what I love? Is trying random passwords on an antimatter bomb. Who ever heard of a failsafe? Just type enough random characters and eventually something will happen. Still, I'm sure this is the thing Alice was talking about. We just didn't have the right password.
But why was it in the control room?
Do you think Zero Senior put it here for us?
That would suggest it was also Zero Senior who set up the bombs.
I mean, yeah, who else were you thinking?
Doesn't that seem odd, though?
If your only standard for success is something happens, then we will always succeed. And, well, until the heat death of the universe, I guess, at which point nothing will happen. But up until then, you're golden.
Zero Senior wants us to play the nonary game, right? So why would he set bombs?
Maybe he wants to blow this whole place up if someone commits some crazy violation of the rules.
That doesn't make sense. Our bracelets already have poison in them. If someone breaks a rule, all he has to do is activate their bracelet.
Yeah, you're right. Well, whatever the case is, there's one thing we can be sure of. The person who set these bombs is one of us. Whether or not that person is also Zero Senior isn't particularly relevant at the moment. But what is relevant is that they know the deactivation password. We can figure out who that person is and question them.
We can get the password and turn the bombs off.
Exactly. That would be my quick and easy method. So, fess up. Which one of you set up the bombs? Somebody set us up the bomb. Obligatory, I know. Not that I expect you to do that, goose. So, we're going to be checking everyone.
Checking us?
Yeah. Once they're set, the bombs are controlled by a remote. It stands to reason that whoever set them has that remote, or they hid it somewhere. So you're going to search us for it? Yeah. But no buts. If you refuse, that implicates you. Do what I say and you'll be fine, assuming you are actually innocent. That's always a dodgy moral standpoint. Nothing to hide, nothing to fear. But hey, I suppose we are in extenuating circumstances here somewhat. Understand? No reason to wait, let's get started. Anyone want to volunteer to go first? No? Alright, let's see. Wait. Huh? You only need to search one person. What? Why? Because I figured out who did it. Did you? I get Sigma's doing the Junpei move of knowing nothing, nothing, everything! And that was my necklace falling off. Because it is connected with a really crappy jump ring, and it keeps doing this. This has been your break into the Emma Repairs Jewelry scheme, and briefly forgets her own name there. Don't know what that was about. Really need to fix that. Honk. Anyway, Sigma figured out who did it. I know who did it. The words were out of my mouth before I'd even realised I was saying them. How can you... There's no way. Yeah. I met Fire's gaze and nodded, and then turned away. I know who set the bombs. That person has a creepy 3D model. Also, one of them was a book. A bunch of stuff there we haven't seen yet. What we're getting sent from the future. Phoenix Right Point! Objection! That person. You did it! The room was suddenly silent. TBC! Have to go and get that information from another timeline. Fair enough? Fair enough. So we got through lock number 8, which was presumably got from... Okay. It doesn't mark where you got the keys, which is a shame. That would be interesting. We got through lock 8, which was presumably from having gone through the other branch. But now we are stuck on lock 9, who planted the bomb. And you know what? I think while we ponder the impressive depth of this flowchart, where we will be going back quite a way next, I think, it's just about time for us to take a break. So, I am going to take a break, step away, get some more water, stretch, run some ads, you know, all the good things and occasionally the capitalist things. You should do some or all of those things, but I cannot control which ones, so go mad. And frankly, I can't see any of you, so in a very real quantum state, you'll be doing all of them. That's how this works, right? Sure. Okay, so I will be back in about 10 minutes. See you all then. And we're back. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Organisation Charts, the game. So, I was looking at this a second ago. Also when I was panicking that I hadn't remembered to press ads, but I did, so, you know. There's some vague degree of coordination going here. And looking at the locks, because this lock, there isn't enough antiviral medication. Not number 4. And this lock, who planted the bomb, those are this black icon with the closed book and the question mark. This lock that we've already passed through, how do we stop Phi, is an open book with a question mark and a green square. This lock, where did Alice go, is also that, which I think is meant to mean we have the necessary stuff to open it, which this makes sense because this is when Alice had the screaming brain plague and was running off with the scalpel, and then she disappeared and we were like, where did she go? And then she turned up dead. But now we know where she went, on account of we went through that before. So, let's see if my theory is correct and we can progress past this scene. Let's jump. And we fast forward. And suddenly the world shifted. Oh, yeah, damn, where'd she go? Oh, look, we know where she went. For just an instant, I was somewhere else entirely. My mind reeled, and then, just as I began to adjust, it was gone. As if nothing had happened. What was that? It was the same sensation I'd felt when I saw the vision of the bombs exploding. Had it been a premonition? This is bad! Reaction image for everyone. I need to find Alice now! But where could she be? Damn it, Alice, where are you? Oh, where actually was she? Oh, I think... was she in the pantry? She wasn't in the archives. Don't think she was in Warehouse B. Crew quarters? Yes, I think you're right. What about the crew quarters? Yeah, that has to be it. I set off to Dead Run, accompanied with dramatic music. And all the scene transitions. The moment I entered the crew hallway, I made straight for the door to the number 2 room. We call it a toilet, Sigma, come on. Alice should be in here. Swallowed and threw open the door. Would you look at that? Alice, so you were here. As I spoke, her eyes turned toward mine, but I didn't get the feeling they were looking at me. Her skin was pale and sickly, and one of our hands held the scalpel like I'd caught her in the middle of something. What are you doing here? It's okay. I'm just here to help you. Help me? What do you mean? Just let go of the scalpel. No. I need it to get this bracelet off. Huh? Remember what Zero Jr. told us? The bracelet comes off when your heart stops. So I just have to. I'm sorry, but that was a needlessly dramatic animation. Welcome to this high school production of Romeo and Juliet. My hand's probably clipped out of shot there, so it just ruined the entire thing. But anyway, you get my point. Stop! Before I even finished the word, I was running. I grabbed both her arms and wrenched them back, pulling the blade away from her chest. In a fully animated bit. No! Let me go! I have to do this! I can't take it anymore. This whole thing is like a nightmare I can't wake up from. The only way I'm going to get out of here is to die. Knock it off! Really, that's what you should say to suicidal people, right? Oh my god, this game. With a grunt, I tore the scalpel from her hands. And there's something in my brain there that has been far too brought up on kind of Midlands and Northern England superstitions, where I heard that scalpel hit the floor and my brain was just immediately like, okay, now step on it. Is that a thing anywhere else? Is that a thing anywhere outside my family? Who's to say? I don't know why you're getting so much personal commentary here today, but that's what it is. That's what Tuesdays are for, baby. Oh my god, it's just trying to get me to pant again. Why do these games really want me to pant as multiple characters? TMI Tuesdays, yeah, I'm taking that. It was a second before I felt a burning pain in my left hand. I'd apparently cut myself getting the damn thing away from her. Yeah, that's scalpels. Be careful, because however sharp you think they are, no, they're sharper. Very quickly it progressed from a dull throbbing to a hot line of pain across my palm. I clenched my teeth and squeezed my hand tight. I was so focused on my pain that I barely heard Alice collapse. She didn't respond when I shook her. Hey, are you alright? Alice? Say something? There was a moment of terror before I realised she was still breathing. I didn't know why, but it seemed she'd only passed out. Shit! What am I supposed to do now? Oh man. Maybe the infirmary? It's got all those medical things. Our PhD student, everybody. Buoyed by adrenaline, I hefted Alice's body and took off towards the infirmary. Again, direct cuts. Love 'em. Can't get enough. Oh no, she's got legs. We've heard this conversation before. Many a time. Alice has the screaming brain plague. So Clover wants to stay with Alice. Everything's coming up Sigma, What a lucky, lucky man you are. You two are going to be playing against Clover. Are we? Are we? If she doesn't vote, then she'll default to ally. That means if she stays here, the two of you are going to be sitting pretty. Oh yes, because this is when we came through we went through a different room, so we are in a different trio. Especially you, Sigma. After all, you've got 6 BP right now. Are you saying I'm going to choose Betray? I mean, hate to break it to you, my dude. Yeah. If you do, you'll get what you need to escape. You bastard. There's no way I'd do that. Is that so? Yes, it is so. For one, I'm not the only one making this decision. I very much am. Luna's my partner, and she'll be in the AB room with me. You really think she should just stand by and let me do something like that? Back me up here, Luna. Well... Actually, I was planning to let you make the decision. See? I told you. You can lie to us if you want, but you can't lie to yourself. Shut up.
What? If I might make a suggestion, what if Sigma and Luna both remained here? Should all 3 of you abstain, then you would all be guaranteed to ally, correct?
Alright, have we not seen the supplementary rules yet? Nope, doesn't work like that. Sigma has, clearly.
Why not?
Here, take a look at this. I pulled the scrap of paper we'd found out of my pocket. What's this? Found it when we went to the archives. There wasn't anything like this in the pantry.
Nothing in the garden either.
I mean, if it's a file, you would expect to find that in the archives more often than the pantry or the garden. Just saying. Huh. I guess they only put one in the archives. Whatever. I'll just read it for you. We've heard this many times. Yeah, so every trio has to have somebody vote. Okay, it's not letting me skip them. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, everybody gets penalised. In other words, one person out of every colour group of 3 has to vote. Get it? Whole team can't abstain. That means either Dio or Temioji's going to have to vote then. And they're playing against Alice. Oh. I guess playing against is a little generous. So Alice is guaranteed to vote ally, which means that if Dio picks Betray... Knock it off. You trying to get back at me for what I said earlier? No way am I going to choose Betray. You do know her BP's at 1, right? What do you think would happen to her if I did that? Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules. No, oh, that's not you. Wouldn't put it past you. What?
Cool it, boys. Don't worry. I'm gonna be in that room too. I plan to stay here with Quark just to make sure he was safe. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna have that luxury. Can't trust Dio to make a decision for all 3 of us. That means we're gonna be sharing a room, bucko. I've got my eye on you.
Dio voice reminds you of James from Team Rocket. Yeah, I think that's part of where I got the inspiration. I get this a lot. My brain says that I have made up a voice print for whatever character I'm doing, and then somebody is like, aren't you just doing this? And I'm like, yes. Yes, I absolutely am. I just didn't think of it. But also, James from Team Rocket is an icon, and I'm not sorry.
I've got my eye on you. Happy now, Sigma?
Yeah, thanks. That's a relief.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, everybody's against me. Whatever shall I do?
Can't be too careful. I wouldn't want to see Alice killed by an unfortunate accident.
What do you mean, accident?
Oh, tell me, Oji. Before we went into the CDs, you told Alice there was something you wanted to tell her. What was it?
Huh? Oh, that, I mean... Look, it wasn't important. It's probably just very creepy. Forget about it.
"5 minutes remain until Amberdeck's game polling closes."
Time's running out, people. Clover and Al stay here and keep an eye on Alice and Quark. Everyone else needs to go.
What?
You're staying too.
Yeah. If something does happen, Clover might need a hand. Aren't you a solo? You're playing against Kay and Quark, but with Quark out, that means Kay would get to decide this whole round.
Are you saying that you trust me?
Yeah.
Even though I have 6 BP?
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you nuts? What happens when he gets 9 BP? I'm not worried. Kay won't betray me. How can you know that? I just know, I guess. You just know? What the fuck is wrong with you? Something happened between Fi and Kay while they were out exploring? Or in a different timeline, because that's what I just know means.
I understand. I can hardly betray trust like that, can I? I will vote for our team.
Good. We're counting on you. I've had enough of this bullshit.
4 minutes remain until Amberdeck's game polling closes. Come on. We need to hurry.
Alright, you kids. Take care of those two, okay?
Of course.
We promise.
With that, we were off. And then we watched every door open and every background change. I gave one last quick nod to Fi and Clover before heading back for the warehouse at a dead run. Not particularly long run. Everybody ready? I'm going to open my AB gate. Although, I guess that doesn't really matter. Dio already opened one earlier.
And only you and I remain.
Right.
Okay, let's go. Bing, bing. Two more AB gates slid open. We all shared one last look at each other before ducking into our respective rooms. Biddly bing. 2 minutes remain until Amadeus game polling closes. What are you going to do? I mean, how are you going to vote? No question, if Clover isn't voting, then she's defaulting to ally. Betraying someone who isn't even playing hardly seems fair. Of course, I think so too. I'm just glad to hear you say it. It's a dick move, but hear me out here. Sometimes dick moves might be necessary to gain the information in the future that will help me do the non-dick moves in the past. Got it? Good. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be sappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the nonary game didn't seem so scary. Then she spoke. Sigma, what's wrong with your hand? Huh? There's something white on it. There's what? Am I going to get in trouble with Twitch's terms of service? Enter your votes now. What? What the hell is this? For the first time since I found Alice in the crew quarters, I looked down at my hand. Across the palm was some sort of strange white liquid. For a moment I thought I'd somehow touched some white paint or something similar. But the truth was far stranger. The liquid was coming from my hand! Are you Spider-Man? Or, yes, you're a Weyland-Yutani android and bleed white. I suppose, yeah, because you got cut with the scalpel and now, so are you just bleeding white? See, you put all your money on Phi as a genetic experiment, nobody went with Sigma as a genetic experiment. Because we've seen other people's blood. Other characters have red blood. We've seen Alice's blood. Definitely red. It's coming from the cut I'd given myself when I grabbed the scalpel away from Alice. But why? Where was the blood? That's weirdly italicized. I felt a very odd sort of fear begin to wrap its hand around my throat. Quickly, I held my palm against my chest and smeared blood all down myself as some kind of ritual, I don't know. I shouldn't have let Luna see that. Are you alright? Yeah, it's nothing. Sometimes people just bleed white, you know how it is. I went to the pantry while I was looking for Alice. There was some milk and I spilled it. Sounded even stupider as I said it. At least the man has an ounce of self-awareness occasionally. Just like, wow, that was a really stupid thing to say. Really? Yeah. But... just shut up. It's fine. Alright, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I regretted the words the moment they were out of my mouth, but something was wrong. Very wrong, and my head was spinning. Sigma? Oh, man. I mean, if Sigma and Phi are both experiments, that would make sense why their names are just Greek letters, I suppose. I'm so sorry. Just don't worry about it, okay? 30 seconds remain until polling closes. There was no time left. I had to vote. I turned and faced the machine. Took a few deep breaths, but the chaos in my mind refused to calm itself. Calm down. Just calm down. You need to think about the AB game right now. Just forget about your hand. Seriously, when they drew that Was nobody like, you know what this looks just like? Who was I kidding? There was no way I could forget about something like that. Why did they have to make it white? Excellent question. Great question. Question that I feel should have been asked at some point in the design process, but here we are. 10 seconds remain until Amberdeck's game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, we bleed white. Up is down, down is up, and sometimes you have to be a bastard to learn things. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Round 2 of the Amberdeck's game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Amberdeck's gates now opening. Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. I could see the others filing out of their rooms as we did. Why? I didn't have an answer for her. All I could think about was that white liquid. Nobody clipped me saying that. What was it? Some kind of discharge? Oh my god, it got worse. It got worse. It got worse. No. Blood? No. It couldn't be blood. Blood wasn't white. It was insane. I was lost in thought when Luna spoke. I'm going to the infirmary. Huh? Don't you want to see the results? Why? I already know what they're going to be. Their usually warm personalities seemed to have gone cold. Whether it was because I'd chosen betray or because she'd noticed that something was wrong with my body, I couldn't say. Excuse me. And with that, she was gone. I turned back to the projection. With heavy steps, I headed toward Kei, Dio, and Tenmyoji. Results from round 2 of the Amberdeck's game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. And do the anime portrait thing. Yep, we're a deck. It's official. But hey, we can leave now. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points. Big 9, baby.
What the hell? Sigma has 9 BP.
See? I told you the bastard's finally showing his true colours.
What the hell are you doing? Clover isn't even voting. I have misjudged you. I never thought you would do something so cowardly.
There was nothing I could say. I had chosen betray of my own volition. But had I really? Or was somebody controlling my actions? Have you ever considered that that fourth wall is not there? Little heavy-handed is what I'm saying. Had I really pressed that button of my own free will? The more I thought about it, the more I felt as if some other force had guided my hand to the button. It's me, I'm some other force. Perhaps it had been fear? I was scared by the white fluid that had appeared on my palm. Yeah, but everyone goes through that. Maybe that had been the tipping point and I decided that I had to escape as soon as possible. Damn the consequences. If I got out then, the nightmare would be over. Please stop showing that art. That's all it was, right? A nightmare. It couldn't be real. white blood was insane, impossible. That was when I looked up and saw the others staring at my hand. Is that because you're stood there in the middle of a crowd, just like... Basically what I'm saying is that you have never even heard of subtlety. Shit. I quickly put my hand behind my back, but it was already too late. Seamless. Love it. They moved towards me like wolves, closing in for the kill.
Sigma! What was that? He was cut! It must have been blood.
How did QA get through this specific scene? I have no idea.
But why was it white?
Isn't that obvious? He's not human.
Not human.
No, what are you saying? Of course I'm human. I am 100% human.
Then explain that white stuff.
I swear to God, I have no idea what it is. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not being very convincing.
Oh, you're one to talk. We can't even see you. Humans do indeed have white stuff, it's true. You could be a robot. Maybe that's not even a suit, that's just you. Robot you. Just... you're not human. I know you are, but what am I? Brilliant defense, Sigma. Works in every court.
No. That seems extremely unlikely.
Given everything else that happens in these games, not really.
However bad my amnesia might be, I am quite sure of my humanity.
Yeah, but what if you were just a robot programmed to think it was human? I think we're back to the hard problem of consciousness.
I am, without doubt, not a robot.
Yeah, they probably just programmed you to think that. Alright, it's pretty obvious this guy's dangerous and probably unhinged. We should take him down.
I agree. Looks like there's no other way. Now that he's got 9 BP from stabbing Clover in the back, there's a good chance he'll try and get out of here by himself.
Hey, hold on a minute. Let's not do anything rash. Yeet. I didn't have a choice. I spun around and ran for the number 9 door. No, I don't think so. Oh, camera angle change. Shit. Let go. Let go of me. I was no match for all 3 of them. Before I could take 2 steps even, I was on the floor pinned. The desperation was only getting stronger, however, and I writhed and twisted in a futile attempt to get free. God damn it! You have to let me go! This is all some kind of mistake. A misunderstanding. It's a conspiracy. Ha! So there's a conspiracy to turn your blood white? You're a funny guy.
Stop trying to get away! It's over.
Shit! Get off me! Let me go!
If you won't calm down, then you leave me no choice. I'd hope we could avoid this. Try not to struggle too much.
No! Don't! And then Kay strangled me with his robot hands. Oh, we're not dead. I was expecting to be dead. We're not dead. First thing I felt when I woke up was the hard pain of a bruise all the way across my neck. Kay must have suffocated me. Head felt like it had been stuffed with cotton, and I had to put out a hand to steady myself as I stood up. Where am I? Is this the infirmary? How long had I been out? My foot bumped into something, and I looked down to see the injection gun. The glass vial labelled Sopril was still attached to it. The anaesthetic. After choking me, they'd made sure I wasn't getting up in the near future. That meant I could have been asleep for a long time. Where is everybody? I glanced around the room. And found not a damn thing. It was empty, except for me. It took me a moment to realise what was especially odd about that. Even Quark and Alice had disappeared. What the hell's going on? That was when I noticed it. Quark and Alice weren't the only things that had disappeared. Two other things, two very important things, were also gone. My bracelet. And my left hand! I feel like you should maybe have noticed one of those before the other. For a long moment I just stared, dumbstruck. What I was seeing couldn't possibly be real. But there it was. A smooth cross-section of my arm, where a hand should have been. Oh wow, my bracelet is missing, but this stump is normal. Yeah, basically. A thick, white liquid dripped slowly from the stump. There's your line to take out of context, everybody. What is this? Oh god, God. Ah! That's all the screaming I'm willing to do on a Tuesday afternoon, I'll be honest. A scream clawed its way out of my body, taking my mind with it. Then after that, nothing. Okay. We freaked out and then we died. End. So yeah, it does seem like hitting betray tends to get you to the bad ends, which I suppose makes sense, especially given the fact that we're very much pushing the whole kind of collectivist view of this, which is, you know, correct. Anyway, should we go back and actually choose the non-dick move that looks like it has a much longer thread attached to it? Hit start and fast forward. God, having a hotkey for that is just, it's so good. So we still have the white blood problem even when we do click ally. Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. I could see the others filing out of their rooms as we did. So you chose ally after all? Yeah. To be honest, the AB game was the last thing on my mind. As chaotic as my thoughts were, they all centered on one thing. The mysterious white liquid. Do you want to go see the results? Sure. I swear, if somehow Clover has changed to betray. Luna nodded and walked off towards the projection, but I couldn't move. I glanced around to make sure no one was watching, and opened my hand. Yeah, I'm with you on this will never not be funny, I'll be honest. The liquid didn't seem to have clotted or run out, since it was still oozing thickly out of the slit in my hand. It's getting worse! God help me, it's getting worse! What in the hell is this? Couldn't be blood. Could it? No, that was impossible. No matter how many white blood cells clumped together, you'd never get anything that looked like that. And I'd never seen my blood do this before. I just love the implication that this is weird because I've never seen my blood do it. Not that, like, blood can't do that, just, my blood's never done that before. 22 years of life, I'd seen my body bleed many times. That sentence needs some unpacking, I feel. Scraped knees as a kid, accidental nicks with a knife as an adult. But every single time I'd bled red like any other human being. So why was it that at this time it was white? the hell is happening to me? Hey, it's Sigma! What are you doing? Get the hell over here! They're going to show the results. Yeah, right. On my way. I did my best to compose myself and headed over to join the others. You couldn't just, like, get a bandage. That would solve basically all the problems here. Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. And do the anime portrait thing. Ally, 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 and ally. There we go, it didn't somehow change. See? Actual collectivist progress. We all choose to work together and things get better for everyone. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points. This is incredible. Look, everyone voted ally. You did just like you promised, Kay.
How could I choose betray after what Fi said to me?
Tenmyoji and Dio voted ally too.
Of course. If we hadn't, Alice would have died.
Yeah, well, that's about it, I guess.
We should thank the both of you as well. I'm happy to see you also chose ally.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. That was all Sigma.
Then thank you very much, Sigma. Sigma.
Also, why is Luna stood there like that? This is what I like to do in conversations. It helps me beam my mind rays into you. Mind rays. It's her brainoculars. I love that. I love that.
Sigma, are you alright? Come on, what's wrong? Just say something.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Looks like we all allied. That's great.
Sigma, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, you've been acting a little out of it ever since we came out of the AB rooms. That's like 5 minutes. What happened? Did you make a pass at Luna and get shot down? Well, no, nothing like that. Hey man, it was a joke. You remember what that is? A joke? God, how I love people being like, hey, can't take a joke. You're in pretty bad shape, huh? Before Dio could continue, the heavy metal rumble of doors shutting echoed through the warehouse. The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the star round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the star keys. The Ambidex games, and we've heard all this. Oh, but now we need to hear people's analysis.
We can open the gates as many times as we want to. Then that means
we can play the AB game as many times as we like. Right? Hey, Zero Jr. said something about this, didn't he? As soon as the gates close, your colours get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
yeah. Right, sorry to be a pain, but could you all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all your colors and assignments are.
Everyone nodded and held their arms out towards him. I stared at them, terrified to follow suit, but certain that refusing would only draw more suspicion. So I held my arm out, hand tightened into a white-knuckled fist to hide the cut. When their eyes landed on my hand, my heart skipped a beat. Ah, and these are different to how they were after the second round in the other branch. So again, our observations change what happens.
So, Dio and Kay are a yellow pair. Luna and I are both pairs, but our colours are different.
Right. You're a cyan and I'm magenta.
That makes Sigma the only solo. I thought it said pair. I could have sworn my thing said pair. The red solo. Okay, I just can't read apparently. So, what are the four we left in the infirmary?
Luna and I are pairs, so two of them are our partners.
That means the other two are solos. Although, I guess we don't know what colours they are.
They're probably green and blue.
Why's that?
Didn't you see them? There are a bunch of white doors in the floor B warehouse. They have to be the next set of chromatic doors.
Ah, yes. Fi and I saw them as well. On our way back from the garden with the unconscious Quark, there they were.
The Unconscious Quark sounds like a great pop science book. Whereas On Our Way Back from the Garden with the Unconscious Quark is my favourite Sufjan Stevens song.
Each one had a box just like the doors on floor A. Given that, I don't see how there can be any question. Those white doors are our next set of chromatic doors.
I think that our bracelet combinations will have to add up to white in order to open the secondary doors.
Well, yeah, that's how this works.
The pairs are cyan, magenta, and yellow. You see?
Yeah. If we need to make white, then the other three colours would have to be red, green, and blue.
Right.
Good. Now that we've got that figured out, I'm heading back to the infirmary for a bit. I want to check up on Quark and Alice. I shall accompany you then.
Might as well go with you, I guess. No real reason to hang out here.
What will you do?
I need to talk to Sigma about something.
About what?
Something.
Her usual pleasant expression had been replaced with something much more sullen. She must have noticed that there was something wrong with me. That was what she wanted to talk about. I was sure of it. Okay, fine. I managed to make my voice sound almost relaxed. Not in my VA, you didn't. Whoa, hold on. A private talk? What are you guys plotting?
We're not plotting anything. I promise it's nothing.
Fine. Whatever. See if I care. Dio tossed his head with a mixture of arrogance and feigned disinterest and marched out the yellow door. Temyoji and Kay quickly followed. In only moments, all three had disappeared. So, what was it that you wanted to talk about? I was almost certain I knew, but there was always hope. I did my best to act as if I was genuinely confused.
Oh, I don't really like this room. Could we go somewhere else?
Okay.
Good. I found somewhere nice when I was looking for Alice earlier.
Strange as her request was, I had no reason to object. Kept my mouth shut and followed Luna as she headed off. Again, straight cuts. Love it. Can you imagine if we'd had to do the corridor and the elevator down and the elevator button and open and then the elevator sound and then open and the elevator button and then walk again on the map and then to the garden? It would have been bloody interminable. Garden? You know this place? Yeah, well, sort of. I came here once when I was looking for Alice. Oh, I see. So, what brings you here? Isn't this nice? This is the only place in the whole facility with anything green. I feel kind of silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors. I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation. Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. Oh, there's a bench over there. Would you like to sit down with me? I swear, if this is all just a weird setup for Luna coming on to me, I'm out. She sat down softly and gently, and I lowered myself down next to her. No, don't look at the model from that angle. That looks bad. No, thank you. So, what did you want to talk to me about? Instead of answering, Luna lifted the tiny birdcage pendant she wore into the palm of her hand. She was silent for a moment, and then began to talk. Can I tell you something? This is actually a music box. Oh, really? Yes. She twisted the key on the bottom and it made an almost imperceptible whining noise. It's alright, it needs more goose. When she released it, soft, clear notes drifted out. Ah, seriously, these models, they look very dodgy from most angles, and this is definitely one of those. It's a nice song. Why'd you bring that up, though? I'll hydrate and stretch when we've got away from this screen, because that face is freaking me out a bit. Because I wanted you to know, I guess. I wanted you to know more about me. Maybe it's because I'm so shy, but I don't really have any friends or even any acquaintances, really. So I've sort of always been alone. It was really hard. I felt so lonely a lot of the time. And it hurt. It felt like I was just kind of going to collapse from the inside out. That was when I got this music box. Ah. You weren't right. You weren't wrong that I needed to stretch though. So there's that. Someone very important gave it to me. They didn't say anything, but I felt like there was an unspoken message behind it. Luna, happiness is closer than you think. Yeah. Do you know Metalink's the bluebird? No, Sigma doesn't know things. Or apparently he does. Is your PhD in music theory? I'm desperately trying to pin it down. Like, even for people who know about classical, Metalink's a deep cut. Wow. Yeah? Well, I know the gist of it. Yes, especially because I'm not even thinking of Metalink, because Metalink's a short story writer, not a composer. Good job, me. Nobody saw. I think it starts on Christmas Eve. This brother and sister named Tiltil and Mitel get asked to find a blue bird by this old woman, and they travel to the dream world. Or something. Anyway, supposedly if you can catch the bird, then you can make a wish come true. So they visit all these different places, but they can't find it. That face is just no. Eventually they give up and go home, but when they wake up, the bird's in a birdcage in their hut. That's right. At least they don't try and animate the mouth movements while they've got them in this view.
It's a well-known story, and it teaches a simple lesson.
Yeah, like you said, happiness is closer than you think.
Right. It got me thinking. Maybe the person who gave me this music box was trying to tell me just that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe all of this is just in my head, but I really felt like that was what that meant. It was so kind. I kept it with me all the time, like a kind of good luck charm. But one day I realized something. There was another meaning to the bluebird.
These models are making you connect less to these characters than the old ones. Yep.
In Metalink's original story, it doesn't end with them waking up.
There's more?
Yes. When Tiltil and Maytil try to feed the bird, it leaves the cage and flies away. And then the story ends.
Wow. What about the moral, then?
It changes. Now the message is that just when you think you've found happiness, you'll lose it again.
Important thing to teach kids. The inevitability of disappointment.
I thought about that for a while, but in the end it didn't change how I felt. I don't know what they intended it to mean when they gave it to me, but I decided how I was going to look at it. It means that happiness is something you should always be looking for. And it's only when you're pursuing happiness that you're truly happy.
So if happiness is in the pursuit of happiness, what's in the pursuit of happiness? What, like root happiness?
You know, Sigma, I think you might be Tiltil.
What? Yeah, I mean, as soon as I said the pursuit of happiness, I knew people would be making Will Smith jokes in chat, and you don't disappoint.
You know, the bird who the old lady asked to find the blue bird on Christmas Eve, or indeed the boy who she asked. She didn't ask the bird, because then she would have already found it, and that wouldn't make any sense.
What?
Can I ask you something?
Sure?
Where did you find Alice?
What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. Where did you find Alice?
Room 2 in the crew quarters.
Where were you before that?
I was in the lounge. That was after we'd split up to go look for Alice. First place I went was the lounge.
So you went from the lounge to the crew quarters where you found Alice? And then you rushed her to the infirmary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me this then. How do you know about the garden?
Yeah. I don't think Luna knows firsthand about the time jumping. I think Sigma's just terrible at keeping secrets. And she has a brain cell.
Just now you said you'd come here when you were looking for Alice. Didn't you?
Luna is a psychiatrist, a lawyer, or zero. Truly the three genders.
That doesn't make any sense. There wouldn't have been any time for you to visit the garden while you were looking for Alice. So tell me, Sigma, how do you know about this place?
Well... I didn't know what to say. I couldn't even explain it to myself. Why had I told her I knew about the garden? Why had I told her I'd been there before?
Sigma, are you a robot? Have you always been here? If you're a robot, you have to tell me. That's the rules.
An excellent question, to be honest. What?
See, it would make so much sense if you were. That would explain why you knew about this garden, and it would explain that cut on your left hand.
Stop showing it! Damn. So you did see it, huh?
Yes, because you're terrible at hiding things.
It's not entrapment to not disclose that you're a robot. Really? I want to see the robot legal code if you know it so well.
I've been told that robots these days have what's called artificial biological tissue, or ABT, on top of a metal skeleton.
Oh god, we read about that in one of the secret files. We were talking about cybernetic arms. And I was like, who has cybernetic arms here? Turns out, me.
It makes them look almost exactly like a human. And ABT uses this white liquid instead of blood.
For some reason, when Luna called me a robot, it hadn't really fazed me. Maybe because it was just so out there. It didn't sound like a real possibility. It sounded more like a theory you'd get from someone in a nut house. Still. My hand was still oozing white liquid. Stop saying oozing white liquid! Was I really a robot? No. That was impossible. I needed to stop doing that. Questioning myself so much was giving me heart palpitations. Luna? Aren't you a little scared?
Scared? Why would I be scared?
Well, let's say I am a robot. That means there's a pretty good chance Zero's pulling my strings. That would make me your enemy.
Oh, I guess so. Well, even if you were, I wouldn't be scared.
Why not?
Maybe because you're a robot.
What?
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Yeah, these were in a file too, and also, yes.
They were a set of rules created by the science fiction author Isaac Asimov that he used in several of his stories.
Wait, did they? I thought, yeah, they did. They spoke to Isaac. Who the hell is Isaac Asimov, Luna? What's your PhD in? 1. A robot may not injure a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm. Rule 2. A robot must obey any orders given to it by human beings, except when such orders would conflict with the first law. Rule 3. A robot must protect its own existence, as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Standard. Oh, yeah, I've heard those before. That's just an ideal, though. Could work toward that, but I don't think you could ever actually achieve it. I mean, depending on how you program them, robots could do pretty much whatever they wanted to. Chat, please stop saying thick, oozing, mysterious white liquid. Don't make me turn emote chat on.
Yes, you're right. But I believe in them. In you.
Oh wow, she is into robots, isn't she? Okay, thank you for the spite points, and yes, Abby, sleep is good, and I should probably do it more often. And yes, perhaps it is specifically Emily, but this is the curse of being Twitch chat, is when one of you does something, it's on all of you. You know how a pair shares the same destiny? Well, so does one stream chat. Sorry, she's dragging you all down.
However you're programmed, I don't think you'd break any of the 3 laws.
Based on what? Excuse me, it doesn't count collective punishment if I'm just telling you not to do something. I'm not actually... There's no actual punishment involved. There's not much I can do, but here we are. Also, when you keep saying M in chat, I think you're talking to me, because... Why do we have such similar names? It's unhelpful. A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic. I mean, yeah, but so is it with? That's not you. You have a heart. You're a good person. It's in your eyes. In the words of Peter Gabriel. Well, I guess I'm just kind of assuming you're a robot. I think the word you're looking for there is hoping, Luna. Calm down. There's still a chance you're not, and you just bleed white. We should run some tests. Tests? Yes. How? Well, the Atom should be able to tell us. Oh yeah, the thing in the infirmary. I heard the crunch of dried leaves behind us. But when I turned, there was nothing. Can we stop doing the whip hands? They make my head hurt. Who is it? Is someone there? Just me. Fi's always right behind you, which is strange. Fi? Sorry, but can you guys come over here? I need just to see something. Luna and I looked at one another, shrugged, and stepped into the bushes. Which I can only interpret in the Homer walking into a hedge gif. Welcome. What? How long have you been here? I just got here a little while ago. Just got here a little while ago. You're being very vague here, Fi. Did you hear what we were saying? No. You talking about something you didn't want me to know about? Yeah, whatever. Just have a look at this. Just vibing in a shrub. And honestly, mood. I followed the line of her finger. Just vibing in a shrub with my antimatter bomb. Shit! This is an antimatter bomb. Exactly. I'm pretty sure someone didn't move it here from the crew quarters. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's an entirely different bomb. Look at the number on the side. It says 01. And the one in the crew quarters said 03, right? And that must mean... Shit. And there's no question, huh? I've got more good news. Just think about the numbers for a moment. You're saying there's a 02 bomb out there somewhere? Can't be sure, but it does seem pretty likely. Damn it. That means we're dealing with a combined explosive power equal to 3 tons of TNT. Yeah. Who planted them? Was it you guys? I mean, you've been in here quite a while. Hey, don't give me that! Way more suspicious than we are. We're just standing here having secret conversations. What were you doing in the bushes anyway? Well, I was taking a walk. Taking a walk. You really think I'm gonna buy that? I mean, my dude, Sigma, you really don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to believing in probable claims. Fine. You got me. I heard you two were off talking in secret, so I got curious and went back to the Flore warehouse. Of course, you weren't there. That seemed pretty suspicious to me, so I headed here. And just as I suspected, there you were, talking on the bench. Snuck up from behind so you wouldn't notice me. Then, just as I was getting close enough to hear, I found the bomb. So, believe me now? So, who planted the bomb? Honestly, it could have been any one of us. Anybody could have come here while we were all looking for Alice. Does the Geneva Convention apply to Twitch? I mean, as a privately owned company, I'm gonna go no. Fi, why are you so weird? Probably also a robot. We need to tell everyone about this then. Yeah, you're right. Let's head back to the infirmary. Again, direct fades. Love them dearly. Everyone else was already there when we arrived. Clover and Temyoji. Kay and Dio. And of course, Alice and Quark. Both seem to be sleeping peacefully. You'd never think to look at them that they've been completely insane not so long ago. Alright, everyone. Listen up. I told them how we'd found the #1 bomb in the garden. And how, judging by the numbering on the 2 bombs we'd found so far, there was probably a #2 bomb out there somewhere too.
This is bad. What are we going to do?
Well, I think Alice mentioned something. There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate.
Actually, how much is this going to skip? None. Excellent. It's true, this game is perfect for Halloween month. Zombies, robots, mummies, murder, quantum wizards. All your faves. A guy in an excessively elaborate costume who can't work out how to get out of it to pee.
You see it? Right here, there's a port. If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then we connect them. Yeah, then we can enter the password.
So, if we have the password, we can deactivate them.
Whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned, even if we did have the password. Yeah. That's why I want all of you to let me search you.
I beg your pardon.
You heard me. Chances are whoever planted those bombs is in this room. There's also a good chance they've also got the device we need to deactivate the bombs. Brain stopped working for a minute there. So you're planning to search us for it? Exactly. But no buts. If you refuse, then I'll assume it's because you've got it and you planted the bombs. Unless you want that, I'd suggest you cooperate. Clear? Good. Now, who's gonna be first? Sorry, I zoned out for a second there. Nobody's saying anything. Wait. Huh? We need to search one person out, we're just gonna do this again. What? Why? Because I figured out who did it. I know who did it. The words were out of my mouth before I'd even realised I was saying them. Alice's top is even worse when she's lying down. Yeah. How can you? There's no way. Yeah. I met Fly's gaze and nodded, and then turned away. I know who set the bombs. That person. Flashes of scenes, many of which we've seen, and some of which we have not. You did it! Phoenix Wright Point. The room was suddenly silent. TBC. TBC. This doesn't have any endings that actually warrant a picture, apparently. So that's locked, and it's the same lock as that, except that's lock 9. This is lock 7. So maybe the number doesn't. Maybe the number just says where they come.
That's still locked behind lock 4, not enough antiviral medication. So yeah, that's everything we can do on this side done. Next time we'll be going all the way back to the start and taking the magenta or yellow doors. So yeah, we filled in approaching a third of the flowchart. This game's going to be big, y'all. Anyway, that is 5 o'clock, so that's all we've got time for today. I'll leave it on the flowchart for now. So I will say thank you so much for watching. Thanks a lot if you stayed to the end. It means a lot to me. If you've been watching this, you know where to find me, but just in case, this is twitch.tv/Serasent, that's SERASENT, the House of Hubris. You'll see it on my title card in a minute. You can find me every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 PM British time, that is 9 AM Eastern, 6 Pacific, other time zones are available, where I'm continuing this until I goddamn finish it, and then I'm playing the next game, and I'm goddamn finishing that one too. Yeah, if you want to be notified when those are live, because I occasionally do little interspersed bonus streams as well, then throw us a follow. We just made over 100 follows lately, which was very exciting for me, but you too can add to that number. You two, the person, not the band. Although if the band all wanted to follow me on Twitch, hey, that's 4 more followers. Yeah. If you miss anything, you can find the VODs on my Twitch for 8 weeks. Little bit more useful. 8 weeks after they've aired, or about 2 weeks after they've aired, you can find them on my YouTube. Go to youtube.com/users/rf191999, or just click the link in my Twitch bio. If you think me being a cat in a box is worth your money somehow, you can, of course, sub and cheer on the Twitch, but you very much don't need to. Just come around and hang out and be chill and have a good time. That's all I really want from you. What else is there? If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, I question your choices, but the best place to look is Twitter at Waruce, that's WARUCE. And if you want to see me in other projects, check me out Saturday nights on twitch.tv/The Playhouse, that's TheBardsplayhouse, where every Saturday night, 6:30 PM Eastern, that is 11:30 British time, because I have a strange sleep schedule, I am in an ongoing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Fall of London Chronicle. It's a lot of fun. We're getting close to the end, but there's still time for us to make so many more bad decisions, and I plan to. So yeah, come check me out on that. Throw them a follow as well. They make good content. Is anybody live we can raid right now? Yeah. God, I hope they stop showing us Sigma's hand. Well, yeah, because in the other timelines, the cut doesn't happen. So that's good. Yeah, so I'm going to sign off now. I love you all. Hang around. I'm going to send a raid over to Tom Crosby at Performing Nerd, because he's a cool dude, and see what he's up to today. And yeah, love you all. See you next time.